Okay, so right off the bat, you know, the judges had mentioned that this is a pretty amazing group of finalists, some of the best we've ever had, and that all of these brands have a future, and I think that deserves a round of applause. I think this has been a great batch. That said, there was room for some constructive criticism, particularly when it comes to disconnects. Disconnect was brought up a few times with a few different brands in terms of labeling, formulation, and packaging. You know, what did you necessarily think was the biggest issue when it comes to labeling and then what's in the bottle? Ken?
Well, I think Molly's could use the term not milk or nut milk because there's no milk in it. I thought that was one of the bigger disconnects that's really correctable because at the end of the day, if it's not in the bottle, you have a big problem. And this product tastes great. So, but I thought that was one of the bigger issues.
Mm-hmm. And just in general terms, what are some of the other areas where some of these brands could actually take what they have right now and polish it up and make it something that really could go pretty far? Neil?
I think they all could. I mean, I think that's the reality of the, you know, I think we'd all say there was one that stood out, but all the rest of them were, I would say, 80% of the way there, and they just need to work a little bit on clarity in the packaging to make sure that there's clear communication as to what the brand is and what's in the bottle a little bit. And then there is, you know, just maybe cleaning up some of the formulations. But I was really surprised at how far down the road a lot of them are. And they're very close to, you know, true commercialization on this. But I would say that, you know, go back and make sure that you've thought through logically exactly what those relationships are.
Mm-hmm. Storytelling was also a big part of this as well. How do you best tell a story on your package and your website? How do the founders really make their mark with the brand? John, you know, where did you see some success? Where do you see some areas for improvement?
Well, I think, you know, a couple of them. I mean, Molly's stands out again on that. You know, I think they seem like great storytellers. Like they had a bunch of different pieces that were pretty compelling, but putting them all together into this cohesive, you know, thing, I think that's kind of what's not quite there yet. And I think that's, you know, that's true for a lot of brands. You know, there's always some, I mean, very few brands have nothing that's impactful, right? And I think, you know, these brands all, like as we were talking about it, it's like we really like this and we like this, and if they could just sort of go together a little bit more, you know, we think they're there. And I think they are all correctable things, so.
Mm-hmm. Correctable things in the packaging, the labeling, the branding, but the taste seemed to be something that was really impressive throughout this final, throughout all the finalists. Patrick, what do you think, you know, in terms of how far these small and early stage brands have been able to achieve a great taste profile? I mean, what do you think about that?
I think every one of the contestants did a great job with the taste profile. Every one of them were actually outstanding, and just as you said a second ago, they all have a future out there somewhere. They may need, you know, a little bit of tweaking on the branding, and some of the guys here had some great suggestions while we were sitting in that room that just kind of opened my eyes to it. But some of the bottling was very terrific. The labeling was good on most of them. You know, as the only retailer up here, I just like to thank all you guys for bringing me products like this to sell. I mean, this is great. Without you guys, I don't have anything to sell, so thank you very much. But
well, there you go.
Yeah. I need you guys.
What's your email address there, Pat?
Rebecca, coming from VEB, you know, you guys are looking for, as a stated mission, the next billion-dollar brand for Coca-Cola. You know, it's hard to say, it's hard to estimate if any of these are going to be a billion-dollar product at some point, but what do they need to think about in terms of long-term strategy, in terms of scaling, that you didn't necessarily see today?
So I saw a lot of elements of it. I think a great story that could be told all over the world and made relevant. I think the tension they're solving, a couple of these brands, you were really clear on the tension the brand solved for the founder. It helped me change my life. I think we've got to understand then what's the problems it's going to solve for consumers. And because there's a lot of brands out there competing for consumers' attention. So I feel like real clarity on the tension this brand's going to solve, the space it's going to fill within our portfolio, how it's going to be incremental to that is going to be really important for us. But ultimately for us, it's going to be about that fantastic idea, that trifecta of this great taste, this great story to tell that we can take around.
Mm-hmm. And a big part of that is a trend we see now in terms of snackification, portable nutrition, something that you brought up, Neil, a few different times. You know, what did you see in these brands that can actually go beyond what's already out there in terms of portable nutrition, snackification?
Yeah. I mean, I've been around a couple of, you know, Cadbury and Hershey, large corporations who are looking at this, have been looking at this particular area for a long time. I don't think there was ever a conception that the opportunity was going to be solved in the ways that we've seen it being solved. So the whole coconut ingenious juice is a really interesting way. Gazpacho as a low-calorie meal replacement is a really interesting opportunity. We saw just some really interesting ways to get at that, and everybody's searching for it. It's just taking the entrepreneurs that we see here, thinking about those things and coming up with really unique opportunities for that. It's a big business at that point, and like I said, Pat will be putting it in new refrigerators down the wall, so go invest in BevAir or something like that.
One word we've heard a lot today is differentiation, and you always hear about it. You've got to be different. You've got to stand out. But at the same time, I mean, you can be something that helps a category evolve. And I think we saw a few things that will help a category expand and evolve. What do you think about that, Ken?
Well, I do think there's some incremental stuff that we saw today. I mean, green tea evolves to matcha in one healthier iteration. So, I mean, yes, people are drinking better, drinking less along a lot of different categories and segments of categories.
Mm-hmm. And Pat, I mean, do these brands help advance their current categories or the categories that they play in?
Absolutely, absolutely. Every one of these brands has a place in our store.
Mm-hmm. Last thoughts, John. What do you think about this year's crop and how it sort of plays into the entire eight editions of the New Beverage Showdown?
Yeah, I mean, certainly this competition has come a long way, as have, I think, just the brands in sort of a short period of time, which is, not as much, a testament to what we're doing, but just, I think, kind of where, what we eat and drink in general is headed. And, I think it was really interesting just this time, like, pretty much each one had, a point of differentiation. It was, health-oriented. I think they're all products that, I certainly, can see being successful. So definitely pleased with it.
I have a feeling we'll be drinking them soon as a group and in the audience and beyond. All right, it's time to announce the audience winner of the New Beverage Showdown, New Beverage Showdown 8. In the back, let's find out. Oh, there it is, Tio Gazpacho, the audience winner. Congratulations. Congratulations to Tio Gazpacho. You're going to win, or you already have won, a free ticket to a future BevNet Live event. So congratulations on that. Now, for the winner of New Beverage Showdown 8 and $10,000 in cash and prizes, sponsored by VEB, let's find out what it is. Once again, Tio Gazpacho, congratulations. Austin, please come up to the stage. Come on up. Let's. The judges want to congratulate you, I'm sure, as well.
Nice job, man.
Nice job, man.
Very impressive.
Great job.
Okay, congrats.
Nicely done.
There you go.
Did I get a picture there?
Sorry.
Just don't want to get
All right. Round of applause for all our finalists and all our semifinalists in New Beverage Showdown. Congratulations. And we'll get off the stage and let Chris take the show out.